This is a real quick review of scatter plots. Let's look at the definition. A scatter plot is a graph with multiple points that shows the relationship between two sets of data. A scatter plot is a graph with multiple points that shows the relationship between two sets of data. A trend line is a line that follows the direction the data is trending. The line is in the middle of the data and has about the same number of data points above and below the line. It's also called the line of best fit. We have outliers. They're dots that are not near the other pieces of data. And then we have correlation. The data points are trending downward, making it a negative correlation. If the data points were trending upward, up and to the right, it would be a positive correlation. This graph here definitely has a negative correlation. Types of correlations we have are negative. The dots are trending in a downward direction, generally. Positive, the dots are trending in an upward direction from left to right. And no correlation, or zero, sometimes it's called, they're just scattered all over the place. Now what I would like you to do is pause the video and actually take the numbers that are in the table and graph them on the graph. The hours studied are along the x-axis, and the grades are along the y-axis. So the first thing to apply what we've learned so far is to plot the data points and then use your ruler to draw a trend line. Pause the video and do this. Okay, so now I've plotted my dots in red and I drew my line going through the dots in blue as best as I could. Then it says to answer the questions. If you studied for 3.5 hours, it says, what grade would you expect to make? So I'm going to go to in between the 3 and the 4. I'm going to go up to my line, okay? And my line, I would say it's about there. I would go over, so I would say, based on my line, I would say I would expect to get an 80% on my test. If you want to make an 88, approximately how many hours should you study? So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go over here to where 88 would be. So 88 is in between 85 and 90. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to work this way to my line. Okay, so here's where it would end up. Work my way down now. So I would say in between 4 and 5 hours. So 4.5 hours I would study for. Now let's look at the practice. The graph above shows a positive, negative, or no correlation. And then they want you to draw the trend line for the graph above. The second one, draw the trend line, and then figure out if it rained 13 inches, approximately how many ears of corn would a farmer expect to yield. And for the third one, draw your trend line and answer the question as well, and we will go over those in class. Good luck.